Okie dokie. I think 4 minutes is enough time. So, hello. Hello, everyone. I'm sorry that it took me a minute, but had kind of a slow start because I was not expecting today to go the way that it did. So I completely forgot, slash, no, forgot is correct, um, that one of my best friend's birthdays is today. And I feel real bad about it. But I did have a plan. I did have a plan. My plan was that I was going to, I bought something for him, and I was going to go ahead and assemble it and get it all put together, and then give it to him as a birthday gift. But yeah, I haven't even started working on these models at all. So we're gonna see how this goes, because the plan is this evening to begin assembling these guys and hopefully get them all done and potentially primed tonight, and then try and get them painted tomorrow evening. That one won't be on stream though, I do not believe. So, oh my goodness, I did not realize that bird is wearing 3D glasses. I I love this game so much. So yeah, that's hopefully what's going to happen, and that's hopefully how this is going to go. I do need to get one thing. I almost forgot. I need to get one thing. I need to go ahead and get one thing specifically for me. Uh, so I have, what you call it, art references. So I need to go ahead and get my art references ready for this because I legitimately completely forgot that this was happening. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and yeah, we're gonna have a good old time. It's going to be silly and it's going to be dumb, and that's okay. That's exactly what we want. So yeah, let me go ahead and get that done in the background, and once I finish that, I'll go ahead and turn on the camera, and then everyone involved will be able to see what I have begun doing. And I probably am not going to finish this by Saturday, which is when I'm seeing this individual next. So what's probably going to happen is I'm going to give them like a preview of what I got them by just giving them the box, and hopefully that will be enough to be like, it's going to be great, and you're going to love it, and it's going to be awesome. But until then, it's just a matter of going, oh my god, some of these things have horrifying eyes. But yeah, that's not going to be the case. Also, if you guys have not seen them already, the reveals from Adepticon have been incredibly cool. Very, very good reveals. I'm very excited for everyone involved, and I hope they end up being good and happy. So okay, let's go ahead and get going with this. Okay, let's go ahead and get going. Okay, so let's see. First of all, take the starting soon off, and secondly, move the starting soon image over here because I just like this little guy, so he gets to stay on screen. And thirdly, to-do list. Actually, no, not to-do list. There. Bam. So I've had to adjust the light a little bit. So it is a bit brighter. But thankfully the color looks like it's true. So this is what I'm doing. I might have shown this on screen before, but this person really likes the gnomes and has always loved gnomes, just like as a thing. So I'm going to go ahead and paint these lads up, and they're going to look great. And actually, here we go. He has a very specific he has a very specific look he wants me to go with. So if he were to paint them, it's the look that he would go with. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that, and he's going to love them. I hope, and I'm excited for it. So and it's going to be really easy too. That's like the best part about this is this is going to be a very easy one because he's not looking for like golden demon or anything. He didn't even know that he's going to be getting these. So I'm very excited about this. Yes, it's going to be silly. It's going to be very silly. I'm not sure how old you are, Lotus K, and you don't have to say it, but I because you know we don't need to know that information on stream. That's your own private business. But yeah, so what I'm going to be doing here is I found the perfect picture for this, and I couldn't be more excited. Okay, so this is going to be the color scheme I'm going to be rocking for this right right here, which I know is kind of stereotypical, but I love this picture. Oh my god, this is such a bad picture, and by that I mean a great picture. So this is what he's going to look like, and this is what I'm gonna do for this. Is there any, gosh darn, is there any way I can make the dimensions work better? I think it's just gonna have to go up here, and I'm just gonna have to remember. But that, why is it like this? That is what it's gonna look like. Capture method, no. Window, no. Yeah, it doesn't let me do it. So yeah, that's gonna be the color scheme that he's gonna be. And actually, we're gonna put this down here because unfortunately, wait a minute. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. Now he's bigger. Now he fits on the screen bigger. And with that, I think I can go ahead and do the to-do list. Bam. It is the Gnome team from Blood Bowl. But that is what I'm working on tonight, is trying to get these guys assembled as rapidly as possible while still making them look pretty. Let's hope that goes. That being said, I can't explain just how incredibly bright these guys are, so I figured I'd just show them on screen. This is what my noise marines are looking like right now. This is how bright they're ending up. Like, he almost looks like he's glowing, and that just impresses the heck out of me. He's very bright, and I think that's fantastic. The neon pink ended up working really well. It really was like base coat of the darker color, and then white, and then neon pink, and then white again, then neon pink again. So I think I finally hit a level of pink saturation that hurts my eyes enough that I'm happy with it. And the gun's looking pretty good too, so I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah, so let's go ahead and get this started, because what I think I'm going... Also, I don't know if you've seen it, but the box, I don't know if you can tell, but the bird has 3D glasses on, and I think that's really funny. This guy right there, he's got little 3D glasses on, because that's something that you would see in a game of Blood Bowl, I guess. And so yeah, I love these things. We got this cute little hedgehog eating the popcorn, also great. There's nothing bad about this box. Every one of these are winners. The gnomes look like gnomes. They've got pipes that have smoke curling out of them. They've got a fox stealing one of the balls. They've got this doofy little guy down here. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about this. I mean, they got geese. I think I mentioned this when I got this, but I love that their variant of the geese is just paint him a different color, make him a different flavor of feral. What working in? Hey Skunk TV, how's it going? I'm going to be working on these, a Blood Bowl gnome team, specifically because I have a friend who loves gnomes and would collect more of them if he had the chance. And at his request, he doesn't know I'm doing this for him, but I asked him, if you were one of these, like, what colors would you paint him? And he just immediately said David the Gnome. So I'm going to be assembling these rapidly tonight, because his birthday was today and I meant to get these done for his birthday. But I'm going to assemble them tonight, and then hopefully get them primed and painted, at least primed tonight and then painted tomorrow, because I'm going over to his abode on Saturday, and we're going to hang out. He's invited me and my partner over there to hang out with him and his wife. So that's happening. Another thing that I thought was kind of neat is one of the client who does the Marvel, who wants me to do the Marvel. They have given me more minis to paint, and again, they didn't give me a time limit, which is great. But I get to paint this guy. I mean, look at Ultron. Ultron is cool, and this Ultron is very cool. So I get to paint a bunch of these, and I'm very excited about them. And I'll eventually get to that later. But right now, I am very much focused on these gnomes. So we can Gnet Gnome'd. Oh, these things, I never noticed it. They've got little decals to put, water transfers to put actually on the rims. So that's going to look fantastic. Very cool. Okay, that's something I'll worry about a little later. I don't even have my paint out right now. All I've really got going on is that stupid picture of Dave the Gnome, that wonderful picture of Dave the Gnome, and me trying to put these guys together. So, oh my god, they're so tiny. They're so tiny, guys. These are the. What is this? What is this? What is this little guy? He's a fan, I guess. I guess he's a fan? These are fantastic. I love these so much. But anyway, yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and put these together as quickly and as fastly and as correctly as I can. And hopefully, between that and me just kind of being very excited about this, you guys will be entertained. So it looks like it's 2 sprues of the same. Does he have a foam finger? You're gosh darn right he does. This little lad right here, he's got a foam finger. I think it's actually, I think it's like leather that's been twined together, but that's definitely meant to be a foam finger. And I think that's a gnome in there. I don't know if he's made out of, if he's wooden or stone, because he looks kind of stone and craggy, but that is most definitely meant to be a gnome with a foam finger. Yes, this is exactly what I hoped for. And now I'm actually sad that I'm giving these to him, because this is lovely. This makes me so happy. Okay, so let's go ahead and get these guys trimmed off of their sprues and put together, shall we? These models look absolutely fantastic. I'm very excited to start messing with these guys. Now, I think in this case, I'm actually going to keep them off the base until absolutely necessary, 5 and 6, because oh, they have 2 different faces. Very cool. Because I want the terrain on the bases to look good before I put the guys on there, and I'll put them on later. Okay, so 4 or 3. I got 3, so the next one is going to be 5 or 6. Oh, and you can switch that. Okay. Sorry, I'm kind of looking at the instructions as I'm going, and they're just detailed enough to tell me exactly what I need to know. So, because these are the same model, I'm going to go ahead and cut out both of them. Hey, Red, how's it going? I'm very excited, but also in a bit of a panic, because I meant to do this before a friend's birthday, but his birthday was today, and I haven't even started, so these are definitely not going to be ready by the time I see him next, but I'm going to make a go of it, and it means, unfortunately, I won't be spending as much time looking at other things, because I'm just so zeroed in on trying to get this done, but I'm going to see if I can get these guys assembled and primed tonight, and then painted tomorrow evening. So how have you been doing? How are things going for you? That. But yeah, I'm in full on like speed. Finish the Death Roller and the Star Player. Very cool. I'm happy that we are both working on the Blood Bowl, and I'm happy that you were able to get your stuff done for your really good looking dwarf team. If you want to, I'd love to see them in the showcase chat on the Discord. But just know that unfortunately I'm not stopping to look at them just because I'm a man on a mission right now. I'm a frog on a mission. So I'm trying to get this done as quickly as possible. But yeah, I don't know if you guys saw the Adepticon reveals. I of course went to bed and didn't see them until this morning. But it's a good time to be a Space Wolf player, because the Space Wolves look really good, and I'm really happy for them. And it just kind of made me feel bad for the Blood Angels, because it feels like the Blood Angels got the least amount of sauce of any of the Divergent chapters. And so sorry to them, but at least everyone else got to eat pretty good, because I was really worried that they were gonna not be able to do much, but they really nailed the Space Wolves and their looks. For those who haven't seen, you watched it last night. Yeah, I remember you saying you brought up the fact that the Grand Cathay were so good, and you are absolutely right. I really wish that I was more into Warhammer: The Old World, because collecting the Grand Cathay seems like the right thing to do. They are so very cool, and they look fantastic. And I know that it's been an army people have wanted for a long time, and I'm really impressed that they were able to kind of keep with the design philosophy of the older models, because I feel like they fit right in. You don't need to play by the models. That is true, and that has kind of been the MO for a while. I guess in my case, the big issue is like, if I'm not going to play with them, I can't really justify purchasing them just because there's so many other higher priority purchases, things that I am going to be playing. Like that Death Guard Battle Force box is exactly what I need. I need 2 of them, and I want 2 of them, and I hope the internet connection didn't die. Did the internet connection die? No, it's still going. Everything's just a little slow. Okay, that I can deal with. Uh-oh. Okay, no, it's good. So yeah, I do believe at some point I will definitely be getting some of the Grand Cathay models, but yeah, I don't have the monies for an army as much as I would love to have the monies for an army. Okay. What? Okay, did I get everything on him? It looks like I did. Okay, so he's good to go. And this one is going to be the other side. Yeah, hopefully me pulling back the camera is going to help focus a little bit. Because, like I said, I'm pretty zeroed in on trying to get these things done. Which, unfortunately, isn't going to lead to the most stimulating conversation, I don't think. I'm going to try my best, though. I will say one thing. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah, his cone hat. You just want a couple models, you don't need an army. Yeah, like that lantern. The lantern aircraft. Oh my god, that thing is beautiful. I think you're right. I think that's all I need. Just get me I just need to get the lantern and hang it somewhere in the house. Because that is a stunning model. It's so pretty. And I'd be very excited to own that thing. And give it a really nice paint job. Oh yeah, the dragon. The dragon also looks really good. And I'd want one of the guys just in the armor, because oh, by the way, thank you, Red. I can't wait to see those the death roller and the other thing that you did. Sorry, I'm zeroed in on this right now. I can barely talk. But yeah, the star player, that was the other one. But yeah, all of those, the Cathay looks so good. I didn't pay much attention to the War Cry stuff because our Spearhead, I don't remember what the other one was, but as much as I want to get into skirmish, I just don't have the time or energy right now. I eventually need to finish the Kill Team models from the box set, but yeah, that just keeps getting kicked further down the road because other things keep coming out. Which sucks, because I would love to just have a Kill Team starter set to play. The Sentinel? Yeah, the giant terracotta warrior. I love so much of what they did. And it makes me so happy. I mean, like I mentioned in the Discord, I grew up... I can now officially say I grew up doing this because I'm old enough. But I grew up loving and obsessing over Chinese history. Specifically of the Three Kingdoms era, because of, you know, Dynasty Warriors and Romance of the Three Kingdoms. And it's really neat seeing things get inspired by Chinese culture and Chinese history, because it is fascinating and there's a lot of it. You know, with it being one of the oldest contiguous civilizations, they do have a very long and storied past to look back on and to pull from. So I have no idea how the Cathay are portrayed in lore. I do know that, like, Warhammer Fantasy tends to be problematic, or used to be problematic in a lot of ways, because it was very broad stroke stereotypes. And they've definitely had to remove some models and some lines because of that. But I don't know if that really matters too much anymore, because they've done a pretty decent job of kind of retconning them and trying to make them interesting in different ways. Okay, so does that leggy go there? Oh, it goes like so. And I think that's been the best part, is watching them kind of modernize for more modern sensibilities some of the lore also. Because that was definitely a point of contention for a while, was, at least for me personally, was that in some ways the lore was just kind of, I hate to use the word cringe, if you know what I mean. And so seeing the company be like, yeah, no, that was a bad look. Just go ahead and not do that. Hey, Snowtwig, thank you for being here, and thank you for lurking. Base needs to go on next. Oh, he's got a pipe. Oh, that was such a good choice. I chose the dude with the pipe. I'm happy with this. I'm very happy with this. Okay, so this goes on here, and that goes in there. But yeah, I know they already spoiled the Death Guard guy on accident a while ago, but I'm also happy for the new Lord that they gave. I wish that they gave a little bit more, but I think as a Death Guard player, I can't really complain, because they've just had a continuous series of really, really good models. And of course, they got the 8th edition launch line, so it's not like Death Guard are hurting, you know what I mean? Because I'm pretty sure of all of the Chaos God armies, they have the most unique units, right? So, yeah, I'm not overly worried about that. They also somehow got, like, the best box by a country mile. So, I don't think Death Guard players can complain. And it's really funny watching them do so. They're not very many, because most of them have the same perspective I do. But I did get to see some salty tears on the subreddit. Oh gosh, what have I done? I cannot grab this thing. There we go. There we go. Okay, so now his hat looks like that. Look at this guy. He's perfect. He's beautiful. What goes next? Oh, it's his arm. Okay. Yeah, these guys are so tiny. I'm having a hard time kind of figuring out what's going where on him. I didn't even notice or know that this piece was meant to be an arm, because it's just such a small bit. And hopefully I've put enough. I have not put enough. Okay. Let's say hopefully I've put enough liquid cement on there for it to stick, but I definitely did not. It's such a small bit. Okay, I think that might have done it. I'm scared to do that with these guys. So for those of you who are in here, how have you been doing? How's your week been? Because if I remember right, I think I streamed on Saturday. I legitimately don't remember, because this week's kind of been a blur. But yeah, I managed to get that one Marvel commission done, which I think you guys saw if you were on the Discord or follow me at all on social media. Like I said earlier, the gentleman the client who wants me to do that, they've got a whole lot more for me. And once again, they pretty immediately just handed me more when I dropped off the, gosh darn it, stick. There we go. When I dropped them off today. So I definitely have more stuff to do. But once again, they told me, like, you know, take your time with it. Don't worry so much. And I do know that I went a little bit ham to try and get that one done. So I think I'm going to slow down on this one. Okay. Yeah, okay. That's how it's supposed to go. I think what I might do, honestly, is I might go ahead and get one of these guys really done and give that to them and be like, the rest of them are coming, because these little guys are awesome. These are good little models. I like them lots. I don't know. What do you guys think? Should I go ahead and try and mad scramble to get them all done now? Or should I work really hard on one and get one done up really good and gift that to them on Saturday? Because I have more than enough time to do that. fitting just right. So smooth that in. Perfect. And next goes on their face. And another great, gosh. I'm so happy with these things. They look so good. What I might do is I might get as many of them assembled as I can tonight, and once it hits about 9 o'clock, it's 7:30 now. I might go ahead and stop and be like, okay, which one do I want to really work on, and then I can work on that one tomorrow. And you know, I think 2 hours is good enough time to do a good job on a model of this size. So that might be my plan. Is instead of trying to get all of these done and rushing the product and feeling bad at the end, I might go ahead and do one of them really, really well and just choose the one that I like the most out of them to do that with. Okay. Oh, nuts. Thought I got all of the... And see, this is part of why I'm thinking of changing my approach. Is I don't miss any of these bits. And I'm already noticing that because I'm pressing, I'm not being as careful as I could. But that's okay. That in there. Let's see. Gonna have to learn how to use these tweezers to position body parts properly. Actually, I think that one did it, so that's good there. And again, I can't... He's a tiny man. He's very tiny, and he's hard to hold. And the last thing I really want to do is exactly that. Drop him and break him. Okay. But at the same time... I would love to get over this kind of stuff. Okay, so that holds. And there's that one. And again, I don't know how detailed they're showing up on the monitor, but yeah, that's what these guys look like. Aren't they cool? That one can go there. Next is his friend, I suppose. I love this. It's so cute. Oh my good. Oh. Okay. I get to choose. He gets to have either a badger friend or a goose friend. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to build them all and figure it out from there. So this is going to be piece 9. Because like I said, they're just too good. I can't decide. So it's just all going to be built. And I don't know, I may make a small diorama or something with them and build it out that way. But yes, these are so silly. Okay. 11. And let's go here. That's one of them. I'm overwhelmed by how happy I am with these little scampy characters. Now, what color are badgers normally? Because when I think of badgers, I tend to think of, like, black fur with white stripes on the back, like long, thick white stripes. Or in my brain, I might be confusing them a little with skunks. I know in Britain, they're considerably more grumpy and aggressive. And that's why in, like, Brian Jake's Redwall, they're portrayed as fearsome warriors. And from what I understand, in the United States, aren't they a little more dumpy and silly? Again, I'm not speaking from a place of knowledge I legitimately don't know. Black and white or gray? Thank you. I legitimately don't know much about badgers, other than that I think they're cute. But yeah, my understanding is that they're very mean over in Britain, and they're not so much in the United States. So they need to be black, and then I need to find a way to shade in either a white or a gray to make it work. And that is fine by me. That actually works really well. It makes it nice and easy. Because I can definitely create some different shades to make them look not vastly different, but have like a warm tone badger and a cool tone badger. And that can all work out real nicely. Yes, this is good. There. Vicious little buggers. Fair enough. Yeah, like I said, from what I understand in the United States, they're not. They're like very, very, very not aggressive. But I need to look that up. I know that the honey badger is a famous one because at least like 10 years ago, there was some very famous internet lore going around about how incredibly vicious they were and how not they had really thick hides, so not even like a snake bite could kill them. And there's allegedly video of a snake, like a cobra or a rattlesnake. I forget which. I think it's a rattlesnake because I think they're out in that area. Um, Subduing and biting and supposedly killing a honey badger, only for it to get up again and eventually either kill or fend off the snake. And there was a football player who was known for being very aggressive despite being a little smaller, American football player named Tyrann Mathieu, who went by the nickname Honey Badger because of that joke or because of that internet meme. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe American badgers are also known for being aggressive little buggers. If I remember right, he went on to have a fairly successful career in the National Football League. Okay. But it had been so long since I've watched, I've honestly forgotten who he played for and all that jazz. Okie dokie. Oh my goodness. This thing is all like sharp pointy ends. On and this little guy right here, right on the forehead. You just have to put these sprue ends right at the worst spot where they're really going to show if you heck up on film. Okay, that's all done. So 9 and 10 need to go together. I'm going to dry fit you because I am not confident in what I'm doing with these things. Oh, wow. Okay. That's why I'm not confident because it's like, how do you fit together? And apparently that's how. So, cool. I figured it out. You can go in there. You can go in there. That can go in there. And all of these can kind of slide together and hopefully meld real nice. Thankfully, the tummy doesn't exactly have to, but that's another side entirely. Okay, and while that's happening, yeah, these things are big actually. Are badgers in England really big too? Because these are massive. I mean, especially compared to the gnomes, they're really big. So go on like so. And I can just do that. Whoops. Do that with it. Do that with it. There we go. Like, I know gnomes are meant to be tiny, but just on the size comparison, these badgers are huge. I also questioned the judgment of Games Workshop splitting their head right down the middle, because that is actually kind of, I don't want to say upsetting to look at, but takes away a little bit from their look. I don't know what you guys think. I don't know if you guys can even see, because I'm seeing this through like a preview window, so everything is definitely a whole different size. And then, oh, okay, that makes sense. Go ahead and just add a lot of that there. little bit more down here. Fill that out. And mayhap, see if I can get a little bit more in the seams to hopefully melt them down a bit and then close it up a bit. See if that actually does that. Because don't really need them. Admittedly, with it being base coated in black, or primed in black, that should get rid of most of it. That is a angry looking little guy. That one can go here. Okay. And these two go that. Go. So, that together. Add a little bit more on the inside seam to hopefully melt it a little bit more before I pinch it together again. But yeah, all I'm trying to do is get rid of like the really visible seams on like the backs. Whoops. And apparently to drop him, because dropping him is the right option. He tried to bite me. It's okay. There. On there. And for those who haven't used it, which I strongly recommend you do if you're using Games Workshop plastic, is get some plastic cement. The best thing you can do is get both sides a little bit wet, and that'll melt them. That'll cause the liquid cement, the plastic cement, to kind of activate and melt the plastic just a little bit, and that way when you press them together, you get a much better seal. You get kind of a much better connection. Because unfortunately, when I get impatient, I just start like putting it on one side and then throwing it on the models together. But that tends to also not work very well. So kind of have to make that decision there. Are you going for speed because you want them all together, or are you going for you know, aesthetics to make them all look good? That guy's done. Okay, next thing. Next thing are the geese. Perfect. Next thing are the geese. Very few better statements have been said. Head, and the geese are identical as well. They both look exactly the same. But I think I am going to have to color them differently. We're going to have to get a white goose, and I forget the name of the other one, but it's got like the dark brown neck and the more tawny plumage. So that way there's a variety in the geese. But I do love how just immediately angry they are. They are definitely in attack mode, and someone is going to be very upset that they agitated one of these guys. And of course that is the fun, right? Okay. Oh, and there's a little duckling. There's a little baby duckling. That is so cute. Unfortunately, I'm not going to disconnect him until I have to, because the duckling is very tiny, and I'm almost positive I'm going to lose him if I do. But yeah, what I might do is, just for the sake of fun, is I might go ahead and put the beast on their own. Actually, no, they can go with the Beastmaster. So I'll give them one of each, is what I think is going to happen. I think I might have mentioned that earlier, but I think that is the way I have to go. And the other ones I'll just put on their own bases, you know what I mean? And that way he can have a single badger and single geese, and just have them decorate the sideline. But yeah, I'm kind of blinking rapidly at the fact that March is almost over. I feel like this month passed by very quickly, and that I I didn't really get a chance to quote unquote enjoy it. I do know that there was a little bit of stress involved this month, at least on my end, and that probably shortened it dramatically because I was so busy worrying about a whole bunch of things. And thankfully that stress has passed and things are pretty good right now. But at the same time, like I said, I blinked and it's over. Like, I know that the school system is on spring break right now, and that's great and all, but it's like already over. We've got some interns at the place I'm working at, and they've been with us since winter, because they first started like right before the holidays, and they were only supposed to be with the city for a couple months, and I guess for some reason that got extended out until June. And I think it's because they claim the city found more funding, but that also meant that they're now our problem until June. Which, again, not terrible, because being able to do outreach for the city and all that is good. But it's like, cool, more things to worry about. The good news is both of the interns are super cool. They're both very excited and happy to be there. And they both want to learn. So they were, I hate to use this phrasing because it sounds bad, but they were well vetted. And everyone made sure that this was going to be a fit that worked, because they weren't going to, they were going to take advantage of the opportunity they've been given. So good for them. Oh man, that is a weak ass ankle. Holy shit, I almost twisted it right off. Oh, I don't like that. These feet are not on here secure enough to scrape off. That's really upsetting. Like I said, I almost just now twisted off his foot. Okay, there we go. That's gonna have to do. That was scary. I felt the entire thing move underneath my hands, and it was just like, no. I just opened these models. I don't want to break them. I think that ended up being an issue when I printed and painted an Adductus Mechanicus. It was a goose that was holding like a stun baton in his beak, and he was definitely very Adeptus Mechanicus themed. And I ended up putting him on a base, and my buddy Soft Servo ended up using him as a Skitarii Marshal in his AdMech army, which is, you know, in many ways perfect. But I think while he was transporting his stuff, it fell one day and just snapped off at the ankles. And it just became a thing of like, well, yeah, that is a weak point. And it felt bad, you know? And he felt bad because I spent a decent amount of time printing it. So it became one of those things of like, man, you wasted all this time and resources, and now it's broken. But for those who don't know, thankfully, resin, because it does print in layers, it means that breaks tend to be really clean. And if you're really good and skilled with your glue work, you can put them together with almost no seam. If you're not, then you end up creating problems. And you get some very obvious breakpoints. After I've done the coins and markers, you're going to start on the Lizardmen team you got from Etsy. Very cool. Yeah, the Lizardmen are... Whoever came up with the Lizardmen at Games Workshop Studios, kudos to you guys, because they are such a neat army. Just in, like, every way. If I had more free time and more resin, I would definitely have made a Saurian Star Host army and had space dinos, because they're so neat looking. Okay, let's hope I can do this without twisting this thing's ankles off. Because, yeah, the other scary thing I'm doing is I'm, like, cutting towards the thumbnail. And it's like, if this thing skips, I'm in trouble. Thankfully, I'm decent enough with the blade that it hasn't been an issue. Okay. Oh, what I was saying about the interns. they've been working with us for 8-hour days during spring break, and now that it's almost over, they're both a little sad that they're not going to be able to do that anymore. But at the same time, it means we have less responsibility over them, which is good, because we can focus back on the jobs we're supposed to be doing. Because I do know that especially one of my coworkers, who's he's higher ranked than I am, he basically can't take off anymore because he's promised to watch over them and kind of guide them this week. You're gonna go green shorts, purple with white stripes and swamp bases. Again, great combination of colors. They're gonna look fantastic. Are those the redneck alligators by any chance? Because I know there are redneck alligators, and they look fantastic. Hey, Shiny Mew Paints, how's it going? I am painting up a bunch of Blood Bowl gnomes for a friend's birthday as a gift. That was their birthday today, and I didn't realize it until I started seeing stuff on the Facebook that showed it was their birthday. So now I'm trying to put together all of these models tonight and potentially get them speed painted tomorrow so that they have a super cool Blood Bowl team. But I also think I'm going to belay that idea and just get like one of them painted up really nice and give that to them as a gift, with the knowledge that many more are coming. So how are you doing? How are things going for you? Not sure, just the ones that got the ones that look cool. Fair enough. Fair enough. That seems like a smart idea to me. Okay. So there are potentially 4 gnome linemen on each side, and they have 4 faces. So I guess they're just going to have 8 of them? I guess so. Let's see, how many are there? Yep, that's exactly it. And it looks like they're even identical, which is going to make things really easy. I just need to cycle through the faces. Okay. 17 and 18, 17 and 18. Let's go. Wait, what is 16? 16 is supposed to be used for something. I think 16 is supposed to be one of the many base trims that you can put on. I think I'm correct. Yeah. Oh, that watering can is so cute. Okay, fantastic. Sorry about that, guys. I got kind of distracted. Okay, so 17 and 18. 16. Oh, what? What? I'm at a loss. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong thing. Okay, so yeah, it is 17 and 18. Okay, sorry about that. Knife. Go there. Like, I know that there's... I didn't realize how enthusiastic a modding community there is for Blood Bowl. And once I realized that while Games Workshop does support them, they don't go after them as aggressively as they do for, like, Warhammer proper. 28, 29, 30, and 31. Okay. 28. So I was happy to see that they kind of have a much more enthusiastic modding community. And so there's a lot of people doing kit bashes, there's a lot of people doing 3D prints. It's all in all a pretty good time. So that's 28. This one is 29. Oh, that's really cool. Their beards are built in to their torsos, and their mustaches and upper faces are separate, so you can mix and match beards to mustaches. That one's 30, and this one is 31. And so that means I'll be able to do this across multiples of these guys. What a neat idea. Okay, so... Oh, I'm listing, aren't I? Yeah, in this case, I hate to say it, but this is going to be primarily an assembly stream. that's going to go there. This little guy is going to get a little bit of that there. Now, I don't know if you... Well, what have you... I mean, I've asked before, what have you guys been up to? But I do know that the only other thing that I've really had much time for nowadays, and it seems like it's going to be that way for a bit, has been Yakuza. And I have just been, like, not obsessively, but much more intently playing Yakuza 0. And I gotta say, that is a fantastic game. And I know I've probably said it before, but yeah, I can understand why it became the game that kind of revitalized the series. Because it's just that darn good. It blows my mind that it was released almost 10 years ago. Because that just feels like an incredible amount of time to me. Because my brain is still measuring 10-year gaps in, like, 2 video game consoles. So I'm thinking of the difference between games that came out in 96 versus games that came out in 2006. You know what I mean? But beyond the point, Yakuza 0 still plays really well, and narratively is a remarkably compelling game, given how silly the non-narrative parts are. So there's that. Because I'm kind of going through that aspect right now. I'm trying to do a lot of the mini games just because they're fun and interesting. And I'm just impressed at how engaging they are. Because while I wouldn't say they could be games unto themselves, there's enough meat and potatoes there that, you know, back in the 90s, they probably would have been games unto themselves. And, yeah, like I said, the storyline itself is very compelling. And I'm having a lot of fun following along and getting to meet all these characters. And it's no longer a good time because, well, there is no bad time, but they just recently had a sale for the Yakuza franchise along with the rest of the spring sale. And so if you'd wanted to, you could have gotten it for, I think, like $10 or $5 for Yakuza 0. And honestly, at that point, unless you are really hurting for money, I can't see why you wouldn't, even just to have it in your collection, because it is a very, very good game. And again, these you can go there. Let's move on to 22, 23, and 24. Okay. 22. Honestly, what this does make me want to do as well is it also makes me want to go back and repaint my Nurgle Rotters, because that's another thing. Oh, I forgot the 20 and 19. Okay, then. 2, 3. Oh, nuts. Did I forget? No, I didn't. This is from... Okay. Whoops, I'm grabbing this from the wrong screw. That's okay. 22, 23... There's 20. Oh, that one's 22. 23 is over here. Now we grab 24. So, this little walkie looking set of legs. Go ahead and go over there. I'm gonna put that screw over there so don't mess with it for a minute. I'm just gonna shave down all of this. Especially since this is going to be visible. Shave down. If I can do this with slicing my thumb open. But yeah, I can definitely see why people like Onsta are such big fans of the Yakuza games. They have so much personality and so much character and so many weird little characters to meet. And I don't know, it's well made. If you haven't given it a chance and you want a great game that'll suck you in and keep you playing, it's Yakuza. And honestly, that was going to be a plan tonight if streaming wasn't going to happen. If for whatever reason I wasn't able to stream, it would have been to play more Yakuza. If you don't know, one of the silliest little things you can do in that game is, because again, there's a million mini games in Yakuza, is you can bowl. And at some point in the bowling, you can enter a tournament, and if you or a prize, and if you score a turkey in bowling, which is 3 strikes, then you're supposed to get a turkey dinner. And it's like, okay, neat, whatever. But if you manage to do it, the lady at the desk doesn't exactly give you a turkey dinner. She gives you a live chicken. And even though your character's supposed to be this hardcore mobster, Yakuza character, he kind of looks at it and goes, oh, okay, I guess this is happening now. Hello, friend. I'm going to name you Nugget. And you get a chicken named Nugget. And that would be the end of it if it wasn't for the fact that there is a real estate miniature or mini game within the game that you can play. And you can assign managers and security to different properties since you're trying to compete with a local Yakuza family. And the long and short of it is that you can actually make Nugget one of your managers. And from what I understand, he's one of the better ones. So you can have a chicken manage property. And that's silly to me. But yeah, that's Yakuza 0 in a nutshell. Weirdness and shenanigans. And remarkably well written and interesting crime drama. Oops, that's an arm. I can't grab that arm. Wow, I am having a hard time here. The other part to that, by the way, is that I became so interested in Yakuza and that ilk that on the days where I really couldn't play it for whatever reason, I needed to get my fix somehow. So my wife and I started watching Bloodhounds. And I don't know if y'all have seen Bloodhounds. It's a K-drama on Netflix. And I was originally interested because Swifty on Doiget Swift mentioned it and said it was really good, and that something that made it really good was the depiction of boxing. And I was interested because, you know, I've mentioned before, I used to box, and for a little while I was like a low-level boxing coach, like low level. I was like an assistant coach slash helper. I knew just enough to get myself in trouble. And so I always want to see how boxing is depicted in media. And so I decided to give it a try because the storyline didn't exactly grab me. I was more interested in the boxing. But as I've watched it, I've realized that the way the storyline plays out, it's basically a Yakuza, but with in Korea, and in Korea, my apologies, and with, you know, Korean K-drama vibes. But I'm pretty invested in it now, and it gets me that Yakuza fix when I can't play the game. These guys, these faces, these people, I love them so much. He is going to be a perfect Dave the Gnome. He is going to be a tremendous, fantastic, perfect Dave the Gnome. Okay. I skipped one. Actually, he's gonna go down here. It doesn't matter. Yeah, let's go ahead and get what is it, 19 and 20, because there's actually not a whole lot to them. Another one. Beautiful. He's just gesturing. What a lad. Okay, 19. Yep. 20 and 21. There's 20. I know Blood Bowl is supposed to be a violent game, but I love the fact that pretty much everyone has like a punch knife, and that's just wild to me. 20 and 21. Like, I noticed that on the humans, and I thought maybe it was just a human thing, but like every human organized group has like a little punch knife, a little punch dagger gauntlet, and it's just a great way to be like, yeah, this isn't just football. Someone's gonna die. Okay. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. And at some point, I mean, I've said it before and I'll say it again, I want to try and play Blood Bowl. I actually ended up getting Blood Bowl 3 just to give it a shot. And while I've heard Blood Bowl 3 is not the best one, and that it's drowned in like microtransactions and a bunch of other bad gameplay decisions, and monetizations. There we go, monetizations. I'm not super interested in all that, so hopefully I can play the game enough to teach me Blood Bowl, so that I can teach my friend Blood Bowl, and we can fumble around and play it. Because the concept of it looks promising, and hopefully the actual game is going to be good and entertaining. I have heard it is. Put stuff on Discord for me? Thank you. Sorry, Shiny, I'm not going to be able to get to it tonight because I am in kind of a hurry to try and get these guys done. And I want to try and make as good a use of my time as possible with them, but I cannot wait to see them after stream when I have a minute. This was meant to be a birthday gift for a friend, and I forgot that their birthday was so soon, and by so soon I mean today. So yeah, I'm trying my best to get this stuff painted up, or assembled at least tonight, so I can get them painted tomorrow. Like, normally I don't like doing assembling on stream just because it's typically kind of boring, but I really want to get these done. But what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to amend this a little bit. I'm going to try and get as many of these guys done tonight as possible in terms of assembling them. But I think what I'm going to do is, instead of trying to paint them all tomorrow, is I'll choose one or two of them and get them super painted up and kind of make that the gift. So that way he can have one nice one to hold him over and just kind of be a display until I can get more of them done. And that'll also allow me to slow down and do a really good job on them instead of speed paint. You know what I mean? How do you... Oh, that's how it fits, guys. That's how it fits. You got to make sure that the arm is up enough, or else it won't fit. What I might do is I might paint one of them like Dave the Gnome, and then paint another one like him. Okay, so we're going to do the second copy here. 22, 23, and 24, I think, were the numbers that I needed. That there. Now this one's not going to have a face. Uh, 23. Actually, no, I take that back. I think he will. I think he will have a face. Because what I think I'm going to do is I did one set of them going up. I'm going to do the other set going down. So their faces are going to kind of be in reverse. So in his case, he got 30. And what he's going to get instead is 29. So 29 for you. Let's see. There's 28. 28's over here. 28's going to be the last one. It's going to be the last one. And then 29. Whoops the doodle. 28's going to be the last one. Then 29. And then 30. 30. Where did 30 go? 30 is going to be the second one, and 31 is going to go on the first guy. And hopefully that will provide enough variance to their faces that they actually look differently enough on the field. I mean, they're just linemen, so it's not a huge deal, but you know, variety is the spice of life and all that. Okay, so he's getting this one. Now, I don't know, have any of you guys seen Dave the Gnome? Because I don't even remember the full name of the show. I just know it was called Dave the Gnome. I saw it when I was a little kid, And I definitely remember seeing the ending where he dies. Him and his wife die and become trees. And I remember being really sad and never wanting to watch it again. But other than that, my knowledge of Dave the Gnome is very, very fuzzy. I have no recollection of what it's about otherwise. I don't remember how the story was paced. I don't remember any of the music. So if anyone has seen Dave the Gnome and would like to explain it to me, please do. I remember it being a very gentle show. But that's like it. I guess what I could do is I could go on YouTube and give it a bit of a watch. But it's just like, I'm scared. Because there were a lot of shows that as a kid you watched a lot of and they were fine. And then you go back and you grow up and you put it back on and you're like, wow, how did I watch this? How was this the thing that entertained me? And I mean, I get it, you're a kid, so that kind of stuff happens. But, I don't know, my partner was telling me about that. She used to watch a show called Bobby's World, and she put it back on or saw a clip from it again more recently when she was a little older. And all she could think of was, no wonder my mom hated this show. His voice is awful. And it's stuff like that. It's like, how do you put up with that as a kid? And then grow up and realize, oh, this is what I was doing to them? I'm so sorry, guys. You know what I mean? You loved Bobby's World? I distinctly remember the theme. And I remember Bobby's voice. But again, I don't remember much about the show. But I do know that my partner apparently grew up with the show and loved it. And then watched it again and was just like, how is this show okay? So once again, if you'd like to, you're more than welcome to tell me what it was about, because it's another one of those, I think I've been hit in the head too many times to remember deals. And other than the opening with the great theme song, I remember nothing about it. I do know that for some reason I got it confused in my brain with Life with Louie, which was a very different show with a very different protagonist. Oh, this is not shaped down properly. And a very different sense of humor. And that was another one of those morning kid shows that I had no recollection of until a friend in college started talking about it because they thought it was very funny. Okay. But yeah, what are some of the other shows from that era that you have a vague or vivid recollection of? Because like I said, I know of most of them, and I remember most of them existing. I just don't remember anything about them. Are these... Good, no, I didn't choose the same face on. Like, one that I think about more often than not, even though I, like, never watched the show, was, oh my gosh. I've forgotten the name of it. Never mind. It's gone. My brain is potato. Not 20, 25, and 27 go together. It wasn't Bubsy. Bubsy was a video game. Bonkers. That's what it was. There was a show on I think it was the UPN network, and it was called Bonkers. And I remember seeing a ton of commercials for it, but never being interested enough to actually sit down and watch it. And I think that's because right around the time that it was becoming big, my interests were shifting over to, it was either pro wrestling or Dragon Ball Z. I don't remember. But yeah, the mid and late 90s was a wild time for television. Because everyone was trying to create that show that would captivate kids for however long they needed to in that after school slot. Freakazoid, yeah, that was another great one. And that was another one that I didn't watch a lot as a kid, but every time I see it, it makes me laugh because it's so good. Like, it was, I wish that I had paid more attention to it when I was the right age to do so. Because it's absolute comedy gold. Another one that my partner loved a lot that, again, didn't watch, The Tick. Now that I'm older, The Tick is exactly the style of comedy that I think is funny. And when I saw that Amazon did a series for it, I had a friend who was like, "You've got to watch The Tick. It's really good." And at the time, I was like, "Okay, whatever." And then I watched it, and I realized, oh no, this was made for me. This is my comedy. Because yeah, it's really funny. If you've not seen The Tick, especially the Amazon version of The Tick, please, I beg of you, watch the Amazon Prime TV show, The Tick, because it's very good. I forgot his name. Peter Serafinowicz. That's his name. Peter Serafinowicz, a British comedian. If you've ever seen Shaun of the Dead, because that's the thing I know him from, he played the very exasperated roommate of Shaun that becomes zombified at the beginning of the movie. And he's also in one of the best commercials of all time, which was from a comedy show called Kitchen Gun. And if you've never seen the Kitchen Gun comedy bit, that's something else you might have to give yourself a watch. But he's very funny, and they got him to play The Tick, and he's very good in it. Okay. How do I? This goes like this. This goes like this. I got it. Yes, I'm the best. I think the show only got continued for 2 seasons, and I'm kind of saddened by that because there was just enough there for like a 3rd season, and it obviously never happened. But at the very least, it also kind of ended on the perfect note for the end of a 2nd season. So there is that. But yeah, if you ever get the chance, please watch the Amazon Prime show of The Tick. It's like 5 years old at this point, if not a little older. But it is a very good, faithful take on that style of comedy. Okay. He needs a face. Oh yeah, I need to shave his face, because I did not shave the bit off his face. The Tick was similar to watching Space Ghost Coast to Coast stupid humor. Exactly, and I watched a lot of Space Ghost Coast to Coast. And unfortunately, I think I was too young at the time to really understand it. I just remembered liking it and thinking it was silly. And now that I'm a little older, I'm thankful that I knew of it when I was younger and that it's still like able to be found so I can watch bits. I do know that I over the past year have more often than ever found the scene where Macho Man Randy Savage played Space Ghost's grandfather, and it's just Macho Man Randy Savage being Macho Man Randy Savage. And if you don't know what that means, it's really good. It's really good, and it's really stupid, because Macho Man was a character of his own, and whenever he played another character, it was basically just Macho Man Randy Savage. So if you guys get the chance to, I strongly recommend you look up a Macho Man Randy Savage interview, because it's one of the things that you kind of got to see to understand. And even then, you're not going to understand it, and that's perfectly okay. What did I just click off? Oh, 17, 18. Okay, good. But yeah, I feel bad that kids nowadays don't get to grow up knowing about Macho Man Randy Savage unless they actively search out Macho Man Randy Savage. I have... There is a very funny bit of him just going off for like no reason on Raven Simone, and she's like 12 and just doesn't know how to deal with him because he's that kind of weird. Okay, I actually don't need this part. He's only 2 parts in the face, so 21, 19, and 20. So this one I can put over in the corner. yeah, once again, just another weird but great era of television, where kids were introduced to shows that were not quite targeted at them, but targeted at them, and that's the good stuff. But yeah, I'm curious how shows like Space Ghost, or how like Space Ghost Coast to Coast in particular, got made, because there's obviously an interview happening, but the interview just seems to be so incredibly off the wall weird. And I also kind of appreciate that it's essentially the reason, like Toonami, when it first started, used Moltar as their host before moving on to the far more iconic Tom. But I'm never going to forget that Moltar was the original host of Toonami, because that was the point where I was starting to get really big into Dragon Ball Z. So I just, in my head, for the rest of my life, I'm always going to hear the phrase "Get ready for a power trip," and then, you know, a bunch of guys screaming and yelling, because it would be a montage of scenes from Dragon Ball Z. Okay, so this is going to go here. Just kind of hop on right there. And I'm just going to have a hard time lining up his leg, because of course I am. There we go. There we go. Perfect. And let's see. He's going to get 31 as his face, because that's the last one in the line, and now it's going to be the first one in the line. I think something that also made the Tick really special to me, at least the Amazon Prime done version. I was single at the time, and had a lot of free time on my hands, and I distinctly remember around the time that I was watching it, I was also starting to get into Warhammer. So I had this little office / game room in my first house, and I would just sit there with a decent sized TV that was wall mounted, and I would play things on the television while I was putting together models and I was painting. So like, I watched all of Futurama that way. I had always kind of liked Futurama, but never really sat down and watched it, and that gave me the opportunity to do so. But I also ended up watching like Luke Cage, the Netflix show Luke Cage, which, if you haven't watched it, also a tremendous show. Would give many recommendations to it. I had a lot of fun enjoying it. But I also ended up watching The Punisher, which I also liked a lot, because I think John Bernthal's a really fun actor. And I watched that, and then I watched The Tick. So I was pretty neck deep in like comic book movie, TV shows, and that ilk. And watching The Tick kind of riff on that familiar rhythm and dance, but then completely turn it on its head, is part of the charm of that show, I think. Okay. I'm back. Time is, it's 8:31. I'm making okay time. It's gonna go right there, like so. Pinch those bits together. And then hand is gonna go right there, right in that big old puddle I just made. And that's gonna go as high as I can go. That feels about right. Because it is. Fantastic. I did good. Now let's see if I can fit his face behind that pipe. Okay, next one is going to be 30, which is this one, which again, I forgot to do the darn. Okay. Yeah, I was kind of tickled that for Cartoon Network, Space Ghost kind of became the mascot / host character for a lot of Cartoon Network in that era, because after Space Ghost Coast to Coast, they had Cartoon Planet, didn't they? And then after Cartoon Planet, they had the Brack Show. And then at that point, I think I was too old in my head to watch that stuff, so I stopped. Because I know Cartoon Network went through a period where they needed to have some kind of goofy mascot to be the host for whatever they were trying to show a lot of at the time. Like at one point, I know they had Bobcat Goldthwait playing a character, and I don't remember his name. I just remember it being a character that was like a somewhat well-animated CG host, and he was played by Bobcat Goldthwait. And I remember him having a line where he was on a ladder and it was swaying, and he was like, "The show will be back ladder." I don't get it. And then it falls over. There was Birdman I remember Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law, which I didn't watch because it was Adult Swim, and I think I was either in high school or college when that came out, and I was too dumb to appreciate it. But I remember seeing like a screen grab of a scene with the Jetsons looking very haggard, them being like, "We come from the far off year 2000 or whatever," and then Harvey Birdman looks down at his calendar and it's 2005. Or the hippo character from the Hanna-Barbera thing, "Did you get the thing I sent you?" Which became a meme for a while. But yeah, that was another show that I should have watched more of. And that was around the time that stuff like Aqua Teen Hunger Force started becoming big. And heck, what were the other shows? You know, shows of that nature. And yeah, I think at that point I was in college, so I knew the shows existed, but I was not the target demographic for them anymore. And so I kind of missed that era of comedy and had to kind of be shown it later. Like, one of my favorite bits, I don't even remember the character's name because it was on Aqua Teen Hunger Force. It was the side character, the villain, the Mad Doctor, and it would like go to him and he would be doing something nefarious and evil, and then something dumb would happen, and then it would cut back to Aqua Teen Hunger Force and their opening would play. But there's one I distinctly remember where his underling is ordering sandwiches, and he asks the doctor what he wants, and he screams like, "My ass has finally decided to eat my hand!" And then it pulls him in further. "It hungers for more," and then it swallows him entirely. And then the guy's like, "Yeah, I think we're just gonna have to take the one." And then it cuts to the opening credits of Aqua Teen Hunger Force, which again, that was another show that I didn't watch a whole lot of, but definitely thought was funny every time I did. I'm at just the wrong age to have nostalgia for these shows, and that feels weird. Okay, so that goes here. And what I think I'm actually going to do is I'm going to work on fusing this together. If this was any other stream where I wasn't in a hurry, I probably would be pulling these clips up and watching them left and right just to laugh at them, but unfortunately, I've got a goal. And that goes here. I will say, something that I don't think is talked about enough about Games Workshop's heavy metal team is that they do a really good job of assembling these models and hiding the seams. You know what I mean? Because when you naturally assemble them, they've got splits and holes and seams all over the place. But if you look at the models on their marketing pages, they're not there, because the advertising team or the team does such a good job of like sprue gooing the seams shut, or however they do it, milliputting it or something, and you get these incredibly smooth and like they look like they just sculpted out of one piece, and I think that's just really impressive on their end. And it's not something I even think about a whole lot, but now that I'm looking at these guys, even with how tiny they are, they feel like they've got some pretty egregious seams on them that I'm just honestly far too lazy to take away. Just look at how tiny he is. Okay, the linemen are done. The next thing is going to be the illusionists, and they're going to be done soon, and then the foxes. So I'm actually almost done with these guys, at which point I might have time to go ahead and... That's really cool. I might have time to go ahead and actually start priming them, and potentially start looking at some of the cool stuff you guys have sent in. So... Oh, 39 and 40 are interchangeable. That's what they're saying. Okay. So 39 is going to go on first. And I'm not going to slip my hand. And it's going to go with 37. It's going to go with 37. Which doesn't exist. I've lost it. It's just not real. There it is. But to say I can't find 37, guys. I'm losing my mind. Hey, Ray and Deeps, how's it going? I am in the middle of rapidly assembling a Gnome Blood Bowl team because I wanted this to be a birthday gift for a friend, but it's his birthday today, and I keep forgetting because I'm dumb that way, and so I'm trying to get all of these guys assembled with potentially the idea of getting them all painted tomorrow and then dropping them off or giving them to him on Saturday. But I don't think that's going to work because I can paint quickly, but not that quickly. So what's going to happen instead is I'm going to assemble all the models now and paint one of them or two of them really, really well, and then get the rest of them done over a longer period of time. My birthday's in July, so you got plenty of time to paint me some orcs. That's probably around the time that I'm going to be painting some orcs. So while you may not get them, you will get to see them get painted, at the very least. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm hoping. I want by the time July rolls around, I would like to have more time and more orcs because everyone needs more orcs, and that is an inarguable fact. Okay, because especially like I'm the more I look at them and the more I see them, the more actually in love I am with them. They are just such a cool army. Like everything about them is perfect. There's nothing wrong. You're painting a dwarfy boy's face right now. Very cool. Yeah, the dwarves are another one. There's so many armies and things that I just want to own and can't right now. But it's because miniature painting has kind of become like my good brain juice creator. So if I can paint cool things, then I'm really happy. So I have noticed I'm getting to this point where I enjoy painting a single model really well more than painting armies. And I'm kind of fighting through that right now because I'm doing a bunch of commission... Well, not a bunch of commission work. I've done a bunch of commission work. And what's kind of got me through it is finding all sorts of, like, stuff to make it go faster and smoother. You're doing a Loot Studio sculpt. Very cool. Your Warhammer broke, if you know what I mean. Yeah, exactly. I know exactly what you're talking about. I will say, though, I've been very lucky because what I have right now is just a pile of shame that I haven't been able to get to, primarily because I've been doing commission work, and I need money. Not necessarily. I lost him. Where'd he go? Oh, he fell on the ground. I'll be right back, guys. The football squirted out of my hand. There's been a fumble. I rolled a 1. I will be right back to see if I can find this. Unfortunately, my flashlight is the thing that's filming. So, where? Yeah, no, that thing's gone for now. So, I'll have to go find it later. Been following, but I hear your customers are just throwing work at. Yeah, they are. They've I mean like it's been they're kind of like drug deals at this point because I've this has happened twice now. I've handed one of them a product that I've just finished painting, and they just take it, and as they're taking it, they're handing another one, and it's kind of intense. Like, I don't know how you can continue to pay me to do this, because I'm not being cheap here. Like, the first one I understand. I think I charged them like $20 for it, some very small amount for how much work I did, and then they just immediately handed off the next one, and it was a lot more. It was instead of just being one or two models, it was like 10. Okay, 33, 30. Okay, I got it. And I managed to get those done, and as soon as he paid, he took them, gave me another box, and then gave me my money. And so I'm not complaining. I just, sir, I wish I had this kind of discretionary money to spend. I guess instead I've got the time to do all the painting, so it is what it is, I suppose. Okay, so this one is a gnome illusionist, it looks like. And I think, how does leg go? Leg go like so. Okay, I got you. Get it, girl? I know, right? I have, I think, at least two other people who are interested in hiring my services again, but they're in the process of like either assembling or waiting for models to release. So they haven't gotten their models yet. But once they do, they're probably going to hit me up and be like, "Hey, I've got things I need you to paint. I will let you do so for several $100s." And well, yes, I like money. I hope by then I find some better ways to batch paint, because it's becoming a bit much. Because I'm also working a full-time job, so my time to do this is diminishing rapidly. It's like I was trying to get a oops, did I accidentally slice through? No. I was trying to get something started when I was in between jobs, and I was getting nothing. And then right as soon as I get a job, it's like, here's all of the prospects that we didn't give you before. Now, what is this? Is this? I think no. No, that okay. Yeah, that is it. Okay, okay. Yeah, this. I don't know. No, that's yes, yes. Okay, yeah, it goes like that. Okay. Sorry, the picture was not very good. Oh, and just so you're aware, this I bought these for myself initially, and then I was like, yeah, this will make a great birthday gift. And I actually showed them that I bought these, but I was like, hey, check out what I bought. And then I asked them, if you were going to paint them, what color would you paint them? What would you paint them to look like? And they immediately said Dave the Gnome. You just primer black, then airbrush with an ink white to build volumes and slap Vallejo Express color down, which is their version of speed paint. And see, that's smart. And that's what I started doing for a lot of it, is using speed paints to do like the gross work, and then kind of going back and hit it with something that's a little nicer for touch-up if necessary. But I'll admit, I'm not going super hard on many of these right now. I'm just trying to get them done. There was one that I just got through doing, and I feel like it nearly killed me because it was just so much. And it actually wasn't that bad. It was a set of Blood Bowl Witch Hunters from Punga Miniatures, and they were definitely, there was a lot of them. There were 30 of them, and it took me, I think, 3 weeks to do. But it just felt like I was making no progress, and the progress I was making didn't look good. And so it became kind of really defeating to go through and work on it, feeling like it's just looking worse every time I touch it. And that feeling persisted all the way up to when I was doing the final bits, and then finally it came together, and I was like, oh, this actually looks really good. So, take that for what you will. Let's see. It's creating a slot right there. That's what's happening. So this is going to go on here, and that should be good enough to, yep, okay, perfect. So that goes in there, and that creates that. Honestly, creating a slot across two pieces is very risky until I wake up the next day to look at it, and you're like, okay, I can work with this. Yeah, that's kind of how I wish I felt, but every time I looked at them, I was like, man, these are just getting uglier. I don't like this. But like I said, thankfully, when it finally finished, they ended up looking really good. So I can't be that mad about it. Um, there are pictures of them on my Blue Sky. And I don't know if you're a part of the Discord, I forget, but if you are, there should be pictures in there too from, I think, mid-February or early March when I finished them. I don't remember. It became a blur once I did. You just jumped in. Ah, fair enough. Okay, so I really like these models because they are so scrungly. Everything about them screams like stank ass gnome, and I'm pretty okay with that. Okay. But yeah, honestly, I was just relieved that the witch hunters turned out good because they're really cool sculpts, and I really wanted to make the client happy with them. I'll pop my dwarf face I'm working on. Maybe someone can take a look and say, "Hey, dude, you suck." Nah, no one's gonna say that. I'm trying to build that community off positive vibes and helping people, you know. And I dropped her. And so you'll probably get some thumbs up. Unfortunately, it's not very active, and a lot of that is just because I'm not very active. How in the hell do I get this thing on here? What? I don't. Oh, I get it. I'm sorry. I got it. I figured it out. Her arm is stupid. That's the answer. Her arm is stupid. It goes on like this. It's a shoulder. It's a pauldron. Okay, it's a pauldron. I don't get it. I was wrong. I lied. Oh, I got it. I fixed it. I'm a genius. Okay. But yeah, if you ever want any pointers, then definitely make a note of it in the post, because that'll let us know that it's okay to give advice. Okay, so she's done until I can find her other football. She's gonna go there with her one severed hand. Very cool. I would take a look at it right now, but I'm kind of in like frantic finish mode, so I'm trying to like I said, I'm trying to get all this done. But I will definitely check it out later. I've got you're I think the third person to come in and be like, "Hey, look at this cool thing I've done," and I've been like, "Yes, I want to, but unfortunately, no, I'm in a hurry." So it will get looked at, I promise. It's just not right now. Okay, fair enough. Thank you. I love seeing other people's paint jobs and schemes because, um, as I think I've heard it said, and I think it's very true, that this can be a very solitary hobby, and it's very easy to kind of get really sucked into your own world and not see what other people are doing. So any chance I get to see how other people are painting their things, it does a lot of things. It gives me a sense of perspective. It lets me see new and interesting designs and schemes. Honestly, that's if there's any reason why that Discord exists, it's so I can see other people's minis and steal their ideas. You do more display painting, so you'll spend 40 to 50 hours on painting. Oh, in that case, I'm not sure if there's much we can tell you because I'm not that good, but I'm trying to be. I think the longest I've spent on a mini, actually, I have no idea. It might have been the first lion that I did, and I think he turned out okay. But there's still things on him I want to go back and fix, but he's not mine. And the client liked him, so I guess that's okay. I do have another lion that, even if I don't paint him beautifully, I'm still pretty proud of him. This lad right here, uh, he's not actually the lion. I don't know if you can tell, but this guy is 3D printed. Like the entire dude. There's no Games Workshop plastic on him at all. And that's because some mad lad scanned each individual piece off of the sprue and then supported it. So he got printed based off of those specs. I think by now that's been taken down. It no longer exists on the internet. So I'm happy that I was able to get it. Because, and eventually at some point I'm actually going to buy the line because I want the plastic one. But I wanted the chance to take a crack at it and paint it as I could. And so I did my best with it. And when I get the plastic one, I'll be even better. So right now my interest is more in getting Fulgrim because I want to paint that Demon Primarch when eventually he ever comes out. Okay. Let's see. But yeah, what's kind of eluding me right now in terms of, I never said I was good. I only started 5 months ago. Oh, and I'm artsy by nature, and that guy looks great. I 3D print everything, not Warhammer. Yeah, I think 3D printing, I know I originally got into it because I wanted to have cheap Warhammer and custom bits. I realized that the best part of the 3D printer is the fact that there are so many, hey Magic Donut, how's it going? Popping in to say hi between the Warhammer stream. Is it still going? Are they still doing new things? Oh my gosh. Is the Adepticon streamy thing still happening, or is it now tournament stuff? Because unfortunately, if it's tournament stuff, I'm vastly less interested. But I'm glad that they're doing it. Not new stuff. Okay, fair enough. I finally got to play a little bit of Warhams not too long ago, and while I did have fun, it convinced me that I don't ever want to get into the Warhammer meta. Adepticon tournament stuff. Oh, very cool. Well, good luck to them, and I hope that they have exciting matches that are fun to watch. But yeah, as I was saying, I realized more recently that the joy of the 3D printing is getting to see all these super creative people make super cool stuff and being able to print it out and paint it. And that's something that I'm really happy I got the printer for, because I'm becoming less interested in printing Warhams and more interested in printing stuff that isn't Warhammer. There are some statues and whatnot that I want to print. I recently got to paint the Marvel Crisis Protocol guys, and they're just slightly bigger than Warhammer, because I think their scale's at 38 instead of 32 millimeter. And it made me realize that painting slightly bigger models gave me so much more freedom and flexibility, and it just had a lot more room for error. And so it made me want to start painting bigger things. So at some point, I'm going to really take a chance at it and paint a bus. And some other point, I'm going to paint like a bigger model. I know that Shiny Mew paints, one of the other users that watches me stream, they paint Twin Goddess Miniatures goblins. And they have these really great vibrant color palettes. And at one point asked me to do a paint job for one, so I did, but I painted one of the very tiny ones, and they suggested that I paint one of the bigger ones. And I've always been kind of nervous about painting bigger things, because it's bigger, so people will notice the mistakes more. But what I'm starting to realize is, because it's bigger, I actually have more wiggle room. My mic is clipping out. My apologies. I was kind of moving away. What the heck am I? My leg keeps feeling something. Is there a spider down here? Come on, guys. Either my knee is starting to go on fire and I've hurt myself, or there's like a spider web under my desk and my knee keeps clipping into it. Can you still hear me, or is there an issue with the mic clipping again? I'm gonna do a test. It looks like everything's good from here, but I don't know how it's gonna sound for you guys. Yeah, if I heard an answer, you probably would just hear me scream, cuss, and then run. I don't like spiders. I'm not gonna say that I'm scared of them, but I prefer. It sounds like a McDonald's drive-through mic still. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, because it looks like I'm getting pretty steady audio on my end, and it looks like I've got pretty good. It's no drop frames. I'm getting pretty good data. So I apologize if the audio quality went to crap. And I guess I'll have to play it back. I guess I'll have to play it back later and see what's going on. I mean, clearly Adepticon wants your viewing back. That's what it's got to be. Okay. Let's see. I think... Oh, yeah. I'm going to try and put these together. So, on her back, I put the ball, and on the front is supposed to be the fire. So on the front, in this case, is going to be the ball, and on the back is going to be the fire. Okay, let's see if I can do this without throwing one of these on the floor again. Yeah, I eventually need to go back and continue messing with the mic settings, because for a while they were really, really good. And then I moved my stuff around, and then they were really bad. And then I moved my stuff around again, and now they're mediocre. So I think I could do a much better job. Awesome. Glad to hear that that got fixed. Glad to hear that it was a connection issue and not like an I need to turn off the stream and fix everything issue. But yeah, one of my friends, he's not an audio engineer, but he is very much involved with audio equipment. And so he kind of helped me set up initially. And at that time, the mic audio was really good. And then I got a new computer and I lost all my settings. And so I've just been kind of using YouTuber, here's the best audio settings for your mic stuff. And it's been okay, I guess. But I could probably do better. And that's kind of my plan, is eventually I will actually pay more attention. Because right now I'm using a relatively cheap Razer Siren with a one of those small portable sound booths that's just kind of attached to the mic. But like this room down here is actually not super conducive to this, because it's like it's an unfinished basement, so it's a concrete block, which means sound bounces off of everything. What might help is I might just put like a wash rag over it or something. Okay, so this goes here, and I let that sit for a minute, and then I put her arm on. Oh, I was supposed to put her arm on earlier. Shit. Oh no. I didn't read the directions. Okay, arm is going on. Arm is gonna fit. Arm fits. Arm fits. Arm fits. Please God, arm fits. Okay, arm fits. There we go. Arm fits. I got it. I got it, guys. I saved the city. Arm fits, but there's no adhesion. Dab a little bit in there and try and fix that issue now that I see how it's supposed to contour in on her body. Games Workshop gets really cheeky with some of these fits. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed or felt that, but like they make everything fit in so perfectly, and when it does, it's like poetry, but when it doesn't, it's like you guys made this way too specific. Okay. Something else that's kind of neat, and also I'm excited about, is that there is a free 3D modeling program that I found on the App Store. And eventually, I'm going to learn how to use that. And I also am going to start learning how to use, like, Godot. And my goal is that, and I've talked about this before, but I'm a big fan of Doig Swift and how they've got their stuff set up. So my goal is to hopefully, eventually, have an overlay that my little Vipo dude can run around in. Because that just seems like a lot of fun to have that happening while I'm painting. Because while I love this piece of art by Dark Vault, my eventual plan is to take it and digitize it and make it to a little 3D model. Or potentially, with my complete lack of knowledge of animation, go the exact opposite route and make little 2D sprites. And if I do that, you guys can go ahead and tell me I'm certifiably insane, because I've never done any sprite work, I've never done any animation work. It will be a completely new realm of stuff for me to learn. And it's just like, that sounds like a fun challenge, but at the same time, reconsider. But I don't know, how else do you learn anything, right? You learn by doing. Now, I will say something that has been bothering me about the stream is, up until very recently, I never had any lag issues with the camera. But I actually ended up getting a high speed a high speed cable. And actually, now that I think about it, no, I know what the problem is. I'm not directly plugged into my computer. I'm actually using a charging brick that's giving it considerably more juice and charging it faster, but it's wireless. See you later, Magic Gnot. Have a good day. They're back to it. Get to it. Enjoy. Watch the tactics unfold. Drama. But yeah, eventually... What was I just saying? No, it's that it's wireless. That's what's causing it. It's wireless. So there, every now and then there's a little bit of lag, and that's what's causing there to be some weird slowdown. So eventually, the point I was getting at, eventually, I will end up buying a nicer camera that can hook up directly to the computer, and everything will be smooth. I'll be back to see your progress. I gotta go walk the dog and do the whole dinner thing. Okay, well, I will see you later. There's a good chance I won't be streaming by that point, because I tend to leave at around 9:30ish Eastern Time, but I appreciate you dropping in, and have good dinner, and enjoy your dog walk. Yeah, sorry, I gotta go to bed. I gotta spend time with my wife and do the bed thing. So that can go right here. And this can go right here. I think a bunch of it got on her foot, and now her foot is melting in my hand, and I hate that feeling. There we go. There we go. Okay, so she is all good and set to go. And she has an incredibly deep... That face knows they are creating mischief. That's a good face. Okay, so that's going to go there. Next is going to be the foxes, which again, I love. And there's two foxes, one with the ball in their mouth and one without the ball in their mouth. So we're going to go ahead and do the one with the ball in their mouth first, and then we'll do the other one. Thankfully, these ones are easy. They only have 2 bits to them. Yeah. Here we go. There we go. There we go. Yeah, I used to stream more. I remember when I first started streaming, I was really into it, and I had a lot of time on my hands, and my actual job at the time, I was a school teacher, was really stressing me out. So I was spending a lot of time after work just coming down here and streaming until for a while. And I remember doing so quite a bit, and I ended up gathering up quite a few hours when I first started. And unfortunately, due to a combination of other work and stress, it slowly went down to nothing. And ever since then, I've been trying to be much more regular about it. And I think I finally hit some degree of regularity, some degree of a rhythm. And that's where I am right now. I would love to stream more. I would love to paint more. I would love to stream more while painting. But unfortunately, my current job is a 9 to 5. An 8 to 5, so I don't have that as much time in the day anymore, and the time I do have when I get home is time I'd like to spend with my wife, because, you know, she's cool and I like hanging out with her. So unfortunately, that just means that I don't have as much time to stream as I used to, and as much as I would like to. But that being said, also, if you guys haven't used it already, if you guys don't know much about it, Tamiya Extra Thin Cement. I am going to continue to support this product until either they make it prohibitively expensive, or I finally get myself a jug of what this product actually is. But either way, Tamiya Extra Thin Cement is really good for polystyrene. I think they're polystyrene. Polystyrene, because it melts the plastic and then fuses the plastic. So you end up having this really nice seam that kind of dissolves into itself. Most of the time. Other times you got to clean it up yourself. Most of the time it does a pretty good job. Okay. Now a lot of these other bits, I think most of these other bits are are actually like they go by themselves. So thankfully, I am actually almost done. I almost got it done this evening, which means that I'll have less to do tomorrow. But I do think tomorrow is going to be paint one of them really well and give that to my buddy as a birthday gift, with the promise that there will be many more to come. Yeah, there we go. The non-ball one. There we go. But yeah, I love doing the Warhammer, and I'm having a lot of fun with them because I read the Horus Heresy. I read about 30 books into the Heresy, and then I read most of the Siege of Terra, and all that did was make me into this huge fan of the world. And I read a couple of other books that are in the proper 40k era, and again, all it did was make me a big old fan of the 40k universe. So I got into like Rogue Trader, which if you haven't played is a banger of a game if you like tabletop RPGs, and you know, Space Marine and all that stuff. But it's really made me love the lore of 40k. And so I really enjoy building the models and kind of thinking of the stories that go along with that. But at the same time, I want to branch out more. I want to paint more models. So my next goal is to find like a non-Warhammer model to paint and print it out and just do an absolutely killer job on it. So hopefully I'll be able to do that sometime soon. It's starting to warm up, which means that my 3D printer isn't going to accidentally or just be too cold to use, because I think that's what's been the problem recently, and I've actually kind of given up on 3D printing temporarily because it's been too cold, and so the prints are failing at a much faster rate and a much more frequent rate than I'm comfortable with spending the resin on it, you know? So hopefully as it continues to get warmer, I'm going to continue to be able to 3D print again and do cool things. And of course, to go against what I just got through saying, one of the first things I want to print is Fulgrim Transfigured from 30k, because that's just a phenomenal looking model, and I've wanted to own it for a minute. Okay, so that's 50. Oh, 51 is just supposed to lay flat on the base. I got you. Yeah, I'm looking at these other models, or these other things, and I'm trying to figure out where they go with what. Okay. And actually, you know what? For these little guys, I think I'm going to leave them on the sprue, because I just now have a better chance of losing them. You know what I mean? And so I think they're just going to stay on the sprue, and that's going to be fine for what it is. And now, I suppose what I should do is figure out which models I'm going, or which model or two I'm going to paint tomorrow. Because yeah, it's 9:10, which isn't exactly when I said I was going to go, but it's close enough to that time that I probably should at least start thinking about it. So that can go back in there. This can go back in there. Also, if you are ever looking for a way to store your paints and to like just have a good paint storing situation, get a makeup bag. Of all the things that ends up being really good for that, I ended up buying this makeup bag that was originally meant for like nail polish, I think, and it's been a remarkably good way of transporting all my stuff. So I'm gonna move everything back a little bit. Get all those guys back up in here, so that way I can show this off. I don't know how much you guys do any kind of portable painting, but this just, because I don't have the kind of space or money to buy one of those nice paint racks, I'm instead using this, and I've got to say it's just been consistently good for me. So I have this. Can I zoom out any more than that? I don't think so. It's legitimately a makeup bag, and I got the one with the pretty floral pattern on it because I think it's funny. But it's exactly what it looks like. I open it up. I've got extra. I've got like an extra sponge and extra paper in there for parchment paper for the wet palette. I've got a wow stick in here for drilling. I've got my dry brushes, one of which is upside down, and that's not good for it. I've got a pair of snips that I need to replace. I've got some I've got a hand pin vise. So like all of my inconsequential stuff can fit in here, and then underneath it is all my paint. And again, it really forces me to limit my palette, so that way, or to get the most out of the colors that I do have, which has been incredibly useful. So yeah, if you're ever thinking of doing something like that, I can strongly suggest getting like a makeup box. I ended up having to cut the foam dividers because it was taking up too much space, but I think this is a great idea because now I can just, you know, take it and go where I please, and I can actually put my wet palette in here right there. So this has just been a really fantastic way for me to carry everything around and have it wherever I need to go. Like I said, here's what I can do. I've got some time, so how about we look at some of the minis you guys showed us, because they were really, I was really excited to do so, just haven't had the time. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and look at some of the cool stuff that everyone is showing off. We go into the Discord. Oh, there's a lot of stuff in here. Oh, we got some of those cool blood bowls, and then we got a thick warning. Oh yeah, they are very thick. I'm thankful that Shiny Mew Paints cut it off when they did, because that's not a mini, it's something they made in VR chat, but that is very thick. And then we've got an incredibly well-painted dwarf face, and it looks fantastic, so congratulations for that. Let's go ahead and pull these guys out into a browser so I can start going through and showing them off on stream. Okay, let's see what we got here. That was a dwarf butt. Okay. And then there's that. And then here's what Shiny Mew Paints did. Okay, and then the skin on the dwarf. Okay, so Ray and Deep, you really undersold yourself. You're very good at this. You're very, very good at this. That's how I'm gonna start that, but we'll talk about it more in a second. That's not it. That's not it. That's no. Where is it? Okay, there it is. Okay, so one moment. Oh no, please. Okay, so that's not what I'm looking for. So these are some of the dwarven. These are some of the dwarven characters. No. You can, what is this? Cheap viewers on blah 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 blah. No, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. You can not be here. You can just not be here. That's fine. Okay. So let's see. Boom. So this is a star player from the dwarf team in Blood Bowl, and you can see that once again the purple and the yellow makes for a fantastic color combination. And it's I've never seen the star player. Again, very cool looking model. I can't tell if he's just okay. He doesn't have an extra long arm. He's literally holding on to another arm and using that to throw the ball. That is fantastic and silly, and I love it. And thank you for showing these. And here is the grinder. Let's see, what is this thing called again? I have forgotten once more. I've lost it. Okay. Where do you tell me? Because he told me where it was, and I have forgotten. The Death Roller. Yeah, it's called a Death Roller. So we got this awesome looking Death Roller, and again, I love the purple and the gold. Such a good combination. There's Dwarf Butt. That is a neat looking model. That is a neat looking model, and I love it. And there's a poor little Grot down there, or Gretchen. I forget what they're called in Warhammer Fantasy, but it looks fantastic. And just a spoiler, this next one is definitely a little bit thick, but this is what Shiny Mew Paints has been working on in VR chat. So this is what they made there. And again, very impressive, because I don't know how to 3D model, and I think the texturing on this is really good. So yeah, there's that. I've never been in VR chat. I think this is VR chat, but I'm scared to go on. And finally, last but not least, we've got Ray and Deep's fantastic looking dwarf. Again, you guys are so damn talented. I don't know why you're watching me. because that's tremendous. I can't wait to see what this ends up looking like when you're done with the entire thing, because I feel like with the texture that you're getting on the skin, the cloth, the hair, the metal, it's all going to look absolutely fantastic. So thank you for sharing those, guys. Let's see if we can find someone to raid, shall we? Let's go ahead and get rid of all that. And let's see, is anyone on Twitch? Oh, Rebecca Rooney's on. I think she just started. Okay, so yeah, let's go ahead and raid into Rebecca Roney. Oh no, they have not just started. They've been on for 4 hours. No, 4 minutes. What am I doing? Okay, yeah, let's go ahead and raid them. They're fun. Rebecca Roney is good people. They have really scrungly art, and I think it's very good. Rebecca Roney. I think I got that right. No, not / Rebecca Roney. Raid Rebecca Roney. Okie dokie, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I do appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed that mad scramble to get these guys done. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you when I see you. Hopefully, possibly next Tuesday if I don't have to go out way too early. Bye-bye.